Wraith on the water in the Uncharted Isle. A day after the storm, and the crew moves like men walking on glass. Every creak of the timbers is a ghost. Every shift in the wind is a hell breath. The easy camaraderie is gone, replaced by watchful silence and too much staring at the horizon. It was in that prickly quiet, just before dawn, that Thomas saw her. His scream from the crow's nest was pure, undiluted terror. It brought every man on deck up short, hands flying to weapons. "Captain, on the water." I was on the quarterdeck in an instant, Bones at my side. "Where, boy?" "Report." Starboard side. "A woman." She's walking." I snatched the spyglass from Bones. The sea was gray in the pre-dawn light, the swell gentle. I saw nothing. Then a patch of mist, low and clinging to the water, caught the eye. It wasn't moving with the wind. It was just there, and for a heartbeat, a silhouette seemed to form within it, tall, slender, with flowing hair. It took a step upon the waves, then dissolved back into the vapor. A trick of the light, a sleep-deprived boy's imagination. That's what my rational mind screamed. But my gut, the sailor's instinct that keeps you alive, twisted into a cold knot. A specter, a voice rasped beside me. "Finnegan." He stared, not with fear, but with a grim recognition. A sentinel of the threshold. "We are close. The veil is thin here. Enough of your ghost stories." Bones snarled, though his face was pale. It was mist and shadow. "Nothing more. Tell that to the boy," Finnegan said, nodding up to the still trembling Thomas. He saw truth. They watch. They always watch. I ordered a course correction, aiming to give the strange mist a wide berth. The men obeyed quickly, silently. No one wanted to get closer. 2 hours later, with the sun fully up, the lookout called again. "Land ho, dead ahead." Land. My blood ran cold. I pulled out every chart I owned, Spanish, Dutch, stolen Admiralty copies. All agreed. This stretch of ocean, for 100 leagues in every direction, was empty, featureless blue. Yet there it was, a dark, humped line on the horizon, wreathed at its base by that same motionless, milk-white fog. The crew gathered at the rails. No cheers, no excitement, just a low, anxious murmur. "An island that isn't there," Bones muttered, coming to stand beside me. "This is getting unnatural, James." "It's getting interesting," I said, forcing a confidence I didn't feel. "It's on the map. See." I pointed to the silver plate. A tiny, almost invisible etching matched our heading. An island with a single, jagged spire. The island of the broken pillar. "Do we make landfall?" Bones asked. It was the question the whole crew was thinking. A captain's hesitation is a cancer. "We need water," I said, loud enough for the nearest men to hear. "And I don't like surprises. We'll go ashore, but we go smart. Armed, watchful, in and out." We anchored in a small, rocky bay. The black sand beach crunched unervingly under our boots. The silence was the first thing that hit UA thick, living quiet, heavy as a blanket. No birds, no insects, just the sigh of the surf and our own ragged breathing. The jungle was a solid wall of impossible green, vines choking ancient, twisted trees. We found a stream of cold, clear water. While half the landing party filled casks, I took Bones, Swift Mary, Finnegan, and 2 others to follow it inland. The jungle swallowed us whole. The air grew cooler, damper. The only path was the stream bank. We found the ruins not a mile in. They weren't Spanish. They were something else. Monolithic blocks of a dark, pitted stone, each larger than a ship's longboat, arranged in a perfect semicircle. They faced the sea like a council of giants. In the center stood the pillar, or what was left of it. It was toppled, broken into 3 massive segments, covered in a fur of emerald moss. But on the exposed stone, we saw the carvings. They were worn smooth by millennia of weather, but the shapes were clear. serpents with feathers swallowing suns, men with the heads of jaguars holding staffs that bled into rivers, a great wave drowning stylized cities. This was a history no European had ever recorded. God have mercy, one of the men whispered, crossing himself. Finnegan let out a shuddering breath. He walked forward, his hand outstretched, and laid his palm on the cold stone of the central pillar. The old ones, he murmured, his voice filled with a terrifying awe. My grandfather spoke of them in his fever dreams. They were here before the flood, before man knew how to sharpen a rock. They didn't build cities. They whispered to the bones of the world, and the world listened. Fairy tales, Bones grunted, but his hand hadn't left the grip of his cutlass. Tales don't leave this, Swift Mary said. She was on her knees at the pillar's base, brushing away centuries of leaf litter with careful hands. Captain, look, we gathered around. Partially buried was a small chest. It was made of the same dark stone, carved with such cunning it looked like would grain and iron bands. It was seamless, lid and base one solid piece. Or so it seemed. Mary took her dagger, its fine point searching for a joint. She found it, a hairline crack. With a careful twist and a push, there was a soft click. The lid rose a fraction. A collective breath was held. She lifted it. Inside, nestled on a bed of black, desiccated cloth, were two things. A small bundle of delicate, yellowed bones, human finger bones, tied with a wisp of hair that crumbled at a touch. And beside it, a gem, an emerald. It was colossal, the size of a goose egg, perfectly oval. It didn't just reflect the dappled jungle light. It glowed from within with a cold green fire. It cast shifting, serpentine patterns on our faces. A burial offering, Bones said, taking a full step back. Leave it. You rob a grave that old. The curse won't just follow you. It'll follow your name until the stars go out. But Finnegan was transfixed. He fell to his knees, reaching a trembling hand into the chest. No, you don't understand. It's not an offering. It's a key, a toll for the guardian. To take it with respect, it shows you are not a thief. You are a petitioner. You understand the old ways. Finnegan, don't you dare dash, I started. His fingers closed around the emerald. He lifted it from its stone cradle. The effect was immediate. The ground beneath us gave a deep, groaning shudder, as if a leviathan had shifted in its sleep bar below. The stones of the circle emitted a low, grinding hum that vibrated in our teeth. The oppressive silence of the jungle was then utterly destroyed by a single, piercing shriek. It was sound given form, the scream of breaking stone, the shriek of tearing metal, the wail of a lost soul, all fused into one skull-splitting note that echoed through the trees. It was a sound of pure, ancient anger. Back to the ship, I roared, my voice raw with a fear I hadn't felt since I was a boy. Move. Now. We ran. We crashed through the undergrowth like panicked animals. No thought for stealth, branches whipping at our faces. Behind us, the shriek came again. Fainter, more mournful, seeming to chase us through the green gloom. The men at the beach heard it. They had the longboats in the water, oars ready, faces etched with panic. We didn't speak. We piled in, rowing for the Viper with a strength born of terror. As we climbed the boarding nets, I looked back. The white fog around the island seemed to thicken, to coil like a living thing, reaching a tendril out over the black sand where we had stood. Then, as if satisfied we were fleeing, it settled back, swallowing the island from view. We are under full sail, wind bellying the canvas, putting leagues between us and that place. Finnegan sits alone on the forecastle head, the emerald cradled in his hands, staring into its depths as if reading a book. He is a man possessed. The crew gives him a wide berth. They work quietly, efficiently, but their eyes dart to the green glow in his hands, then to the empty sea behind us. We have our water, and we have stolen the eye of a god or a demon. The first price of the treasure has been paid. I wonder what the next one will be. Thanks for watching. Please subscribe for more adventures.